I'm going to be telling you about the Arccos Golf system, and I've been using it for a year. I'm going to tell you everything that I love about it, everything that I really don't like about it, and the reasons that actually I've decided to not continue using it. Okay, let's get cracking. Okay, so the Arccos Golf system. So first of all, we better just touch on what it actually is. So what it is portrayed by Arccos to be the most intelligent golf system on the planet. And basically what you do is, I'll just grab them here, you put these little sensors in the top of your clubs. You just screw those into your clubs. The sensors get sent to you when you buy your pack. You screw them in. You pair them to the app on your phone or on numerous devices. That works. It's incredibly easy. It's incredibly quick to do. That was no problem whatsoever. And then you go out on the golf course, you start up the Arccos app. It automatically detects the golf course you're on. You press play round, and then every time you hit a shot, the Arccos sensors sense that shot, log that GPS location, and at the end of the round they give you all of your data, as in how far you hit each shot, how many fairways you hit, how many greens in regulation, how many sand saves, how many putts, all that kind of stuff. Doesn't that sound amazing? And in many ways it is amazing, but there is a big but, which we're going to get onto. Okay, so let's start with the actual system itself and what you get. So I've just got it on my phone here. I'll actually put this up on the screen as well so you can see it. So it gives you your overall insights. So it tells you everything about, you know, what's your strongest parts of your game, what the weakest parts of your game are. The idea of that is that you can, you know, work out what you need to work on to help you actually improve your golf. So that's obviously a good thing. Then you can break down each individual part of your game. So you can go into driving. It'll give you all of your data here. So it gives you your strokes gained in each category, your average distance, how many fairways you're hitting, how many you're missing to the left, how many you're missing to the right. It'll also tell you on certain holes, par fives, what your driving your driving accuracy is. Break it down by par fours and par fives. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff there, and it is very good. And also, you get that data compared to the handicap you want to compare yourself against. So for me, I was comparing myself to a scratch golfer, and it tells me each one of these categories, approach, short game, putting, where I am strokes gained to a scratch golfer. Okay, so whatever your handicap is, you just put that in and it'll tell you how your game is stacking up against your handicap. So all of this is very, very, it's very, very clever stuff is what it is. And I must admit, you do find yourself going onto the app and scrolling through and, you know, having a look at all your data and everything. But I have to say, it didn't really tell me anything that I didn't already know. As in, I know that my driving is the strongest part of my game, as in, I hit the ball a reasonable distance for my age. You know, I have to accept that I am over 50 years old now. I don't hit it as far as these young lads do, or as far as I used to, you know. I've got no problem with that. No problem whatsoever. That's just a fact of life. Just got to make the best of what you've got. And it also tells me that I'm not holding enough putts. That wasn't news to me. I knew that already. I did not need this system to tell me about that. Other thing that it does is it tells you how far, once you've done enough rounds, it then starts to tell you how far you hit every single club, which is obviously very, very useful information. Now for me, I'm extremely lucky. I know I've got the launch monitor here in the studio, so I can do a bag mapping session on the SkyTrack, which will be a far more or better way of me working out how far I hit my clubs, in my opinion. Okay, because these clubs all these shots are taken with different winds. So, you know, one 7-iron that I hit might have been downwind and it's recording that it's gone 180 yards, when the next one I hit is right into the wind, it goes 140. You know, it's not, you're not getting, for me, you're not getting a really accurate bit of data on how far you're hitting that club. But it's not far off. It's better than nothing. That's one thing I will say. It's definitely better than nothing. Okay. So, the other reason that I really wanted to get this Arccos system was this very, very clever. Now, this is really, really clever. It's the Arccos Smart Caddie. Okay, and what it does is it takes all of your information, so all your distances you hit your clubs, but also, more importantly, it's got all the information of what is the strongest part of your game. So basically, which clubs you hit the green with more often, which clubs you hit the fairway with off the tee more often. And based on that information, it gives you a strategy for any course that you download, and you can download any course in the world as far as I know, and it will give you what it says is the most optimal strategy for that hole. Now, I really like the idea of this. I thought, okay, if I'm going to be going and playing away in senior tournaments again, that's what I want to do. I want to start trying to play at a good level now that I've turned 50. You know, I'm really motivated and want to try and do that more and more if I can get my back sorted out. So I thought, if I'm going to a practice round, what an amazing tool that would be in a practice round. That's going to give me my best strategy for playing that hole on that golf course, and then I can use that when I go into the tournament the next day or a couple of days after, or whatever. I just thought that is the coolest thing. But in reality, I found it to be anything but. Okay, I'm going to flash up a couple of examples here. So basically, what we have is that in my stats, my 7-iron is one of the strongest irons in my bag. Okay, don't know why. It's not particularly my favourite club, but for whatever reason, I hit the green a lot with a 7-iron. Okay, so when I get on a golf hole, and we'll take one here, which is a prime example. So this hole is 392 yards long, and it's telling me on that hole that I should hit a 2 hybrid to leave myself a 7-iron of 138 yards. Well, there's two problems there. One, when I actually play this hole, because this is on my home course, I'm not hitting a 2 hybrid off that tee. And I'll tell you something else as well. A 7-iron doesn't go 138 yards. Okay, so that's another thing that's odd. Okay, now I do understand that that hole is uphill, so it will play a bit longer. But knowing that hole, my strategy is never going to be to hit a 2 hybrid and leave myself a 7-iron. Okay, my strategy there is I hit driver, I usually get it past that bunker on the left, and I leave myself a wedge or a 52 degree to the green. Okay. Another one, I played a course when I went for an away day. It was just a golf society day, a bit of fun, but you know, always trying to do your best score. I got onto this hole, 496 yards. Okay, look what it's telling me. So that's a long par 4, by the way. In fact, in my book, that should be a par 5. In old money, that's a par 5. Okay, but it's 496 yards, par 4, and Arccos Caddie was telling me to hit a 3-wood. So it would then leave me another 3-wood to get to the green. Okay, I don't mind hitting a 3-wood, but it's far from my most favourite club. For off the tee, my most favourite club and most reliable club is my driver, 100%. So why on a 496-yard par 4, I wouldn't be wanting to hit a driver to try and leave myself the shortest iron possible to such a long hole, I have no idea. Again, just a little bit strange. And then the other one that I got here was also at that golf day, which was a par 4 that was 372 yards long, the 11th. And when I got on the tee, it was telling me to hit a 5-iron, 161 yards, which was then saying was going to leave me 89 yards to the green, which would be a 56 degree. So first of all, I don't think that would be a 56 degree. That'd probably be my lob wedge, to be honest. But look how far the hole is. The hole's 372 yards long. In what world does 161 and 89 yards add up to 372 yards to get to the green? I just found it to be not very smart, in my opinion. Okay, I just don't think it works. I don't think that it gives me, by any means, the best optimal strategy. So Arccos Smart Caddie, one of the big reasons I wanted to get it, no. Now we get on to the reason why I've actually decided to stop using the Arccos Golf system. Okay, so what I want to do when I'm using it is I want to get my club out of my bag, hit my shot, and, you know, and obviously not think about what the Arccos system is doing. Now, I pair it to my phone, which goes in your front left pocket. You can get the caddie link. I've not used that. I don't know whether this is the caddie link is a lot better or not. But the first problem I had was when I got my first lot of golf sensors, 2 or 3 of them just didn't work out the box. But Arccos were great. Their customer service was amazing. They sent me 3 new sensors free of charge. In fact, they sent me 4. They sent me a spare one. Can't fault them on their customer service. It was absolutely fantastic. So repaired those sensors, eventually got all the sensors working. We'll go out and we'll play around. You get in, open up your app just because, you know, you want to see your stats, you want to see everything that you've done in that round, and you'll just find that there's a load of shots missing. Okay, these sensors don't pick up every shot that you hit. And I find the putter in particular, when you're hitting a fairly, you know, 20-foot or more putt, where obviously you have to give the putt a bit of a hit, it seems to sense those quite well. But anything on a putt that you're hitting not quite as hard, it very rarely picks them up. So the putting's not too much of a problem. You know, you have to go in, you have to edit your round, you put in and say, okay, that was +2 putts, that was 1 putt, that was 2 putts, whatever. But the system is designed to tell you how far you are hitting your clubs to the hole, because you can, on each hole, you can actually put where the flag is on the green. But I just found that, you know, it wasn't picking up every shot. So you go onto a hole where it's a par 4, where it's not picked up your second shot. So you then have to think back and go, okay, what did I hit in there? Okay, I remember that I hit an 8-iron on that green, on that hole. Where did I hit it from? Or I think it was there. So you end up with 5, 6, 7 shots that weren't picked up at least. And then you'd be having to edit and put it where it was, but you just know that you're guessing that's not exactly where it was. So then that's using all of that data to work out all of this clever stuff, but it's not based on definite actual information, because I'm just approximately guessing where I was on that hole. You know, it's probably not going to be a million miles away, but it's not going to be really accurate. And that's the reason why I've decided to stop using Arccos. 1, the Smart Caddie, it just doesn't work for me. And 2, the sensors are just too unreliable. They just don't pick up every shot. If they picked up every single shot, every single time, then I would put up with the Smart Caddie. I just wouldn't use it. I just wouldn't use it at all. I wouldn't press the button on a hole to tell me what I think it thinks I should be doing. But I think the double whammy of the sensors not picking up all the shots and the Smart Caddie, I've decided to just not use it at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy myself a nice GPS watch, so I get my front, middle and back yardages, and then I'm going to go and do a bag marking session on the SkyTrack a few times to get all my yardages dialed in, and then I'll just have a note of that when I'm playing on the course, and then I'll just use the GPS yardages on my watch and then just work out the club myself. You know, if at any point in the future the Arccos system gets the sensors working absolutely, you know, there's an upgrade or there's some kind of, I don't know, software upgrade or firmware upgrade, or they bring out new sensors, then I would consider using it again. But as it is right at this moment, I'm definitely deciding to stop. And it's a shame. It's a shame, because in principle, if all of those things worked seamlessly, like it sensed every single shot, it gave you all the data. By the way, the data is good, but it's only good if it's sensing every single shot. And the Smart Caddie gave a lot smarter advice, in my opinion. Then, you know, I would probably pay more than $100 a year for it. You know, so if that happens in the future, I'll definitely reconsider it. Okay, that's it for tonight's video. Going to be starting to try and get the content back up now that I'm back playing golf again. So keep an eye out for the videos. Please subscribe to the channel. That really helps. And I will see you in the next video.